Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right? When you're trying to speak English
Yeah.
and your brain just defaults back to translating everything, word by word.
Oh, absolutely. It really slows you down. And, well, sometimes the phrasing just feels a bit off, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Clunky.
It's a really, really common thing for language learners. I often think it's like learning to touch type.
Okay.
At first, you're like consciously hunting for every single letter.
Mm-hmm.
The aim is to get to that point where your fingers they just know where to go. It becomes automatic.
That's a great analogy.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're diving into exactly that. How to make that shift, how to go from translating to actually thinking directly in English.
And it's not just about speaking faster, though that's a nice bonus.
Right.
It's really about sounding more natural, getting the flow right, and honestly, getting past the limits of word-for-word translation. Some things just don't translate directly.
Definitely not. So our mission today is basically to give you some really practical, actionable tips, things you can start doing right away to build that English thinking habit.
Okay, let's get into it. The first one, and it's a great starting point, is about keeping your thoughts simple.
Simple thoughts. How does that work in practice?
Well, it's about consciously starting with really basic descriptions of what you're doing right now. Like instead of your brain doing the whole translation thing for I am drinking coffee, you just think the English phrase, I am drinking coffee, or even simpler stuff like narrating your actions, I am walking, opening the window.
So like a running commentary in your head, but super basic English.
Exactly. And even just short phrases work. Hungry now, or, too much email.
Yeah, I think that one a lot.
The goal here is just getting comfortable building that initial foundation where English is the first stop for that thought.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Starting small. Okay, so that naturally kind of leads into the second tip, right? Which is about labeling.
It does, yeah. Labeling is almost deceptively simple, like you said.
Right.
Just look around you, wherever you are right now, see an object, and mentally, or even say it quietly aloud, just state its English name.
So chair, window, phone.
Precisely. Notebook, water bottle, whatever's there.
Okay.
What this does is create a really direct link. Object straight to English word. It basically bypasses your native language entirely for that concept.
I like that. It feels very immediate. You see it, you name it in English. Building vocabulary and context.
That's it, contextual learning. Okay, so we have simple thoughts, we have labeling things. What's the next layer?
How do we build on that?
The third tip is about developing your inner monologue in English.
Ah, okay. So talking to yourself, but in your head, using English.
Yes, take those everyday thoughts you have, I need to go to the store later, or what should I make for dinner? And consciously phrase them in English internally.
So I need to go to the store. I should buy milk. Like that.
Exactly like that. It might feel a bit weird or forced at the beginning.
I can imagine.
But it's incredibly powerful. You're actively training your brain to just function in English for its internal processing.
It's like taking those labels and simple actions and starting to string them into, actual internal sentences and plans.
You got it. And to keep feeding that internal chatter to make it richer.
Yeah, where does the input come from?
That brings us neatly to tip number 4. Listen and repeat.
Okay, so immersing yourself in the language.
Yeah, find authentic English audio you enjoy. Podcasts, YouTube videos, movies, whatever.
But it's not just passive listening, is it?
No, that's the key. Active repetition. Hear a phrase you like or one that sounds useful. Pause it and say it out loud. Try to mimic the speaker.
Mimic. Like pronunciation and rhythm.
The whole thing. Pronunciation, intonation, the melody of the phrase. You're training your ear and your mouth at the same time.
Ah, okay. So you start to internalize how English actually sounds and flows without just relying on textbook rules.
Exactly. It helps you absorb natural chunks of language, those common phrasings, in a way that just reading grammar often doesn't capture.
Got it. Listen, repeat, mimic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 4 tips. What's the last piece of advice?
This one is maybe less of a technique and more of a mindset shift. It's about embracing mistakes.
Oh, this is huge. That fear of getting it wrong can be paralyzing.
It really can. People worry so much about making errors that they hesitate to even try thinking or speaking in English.
Yeah.
But you have to accept that mistakes are totally normal. They're actually necessary. It's how you learn, how you figure things out.
It's like experimenting, isn't it? You try something, maybe it's not quite right, you adjust.
Precisely. The focus needs to be on practice, on just doing it, and on the progress you make over time.
Yeah.
Not not on achieving some impossible standard of perfection right away.
That's such an important reminder. Okay, so just to recap quickly, start simple, label things, use an inner monologue, listen and repeat, and don't fear mistakes.
That's the core of it. And the main message really is that shifting your thinking is gradual. It takes time, but it leads to much more natural, much more confident communication in the end.
And consistency is key, right? You don't need hours a day.
Absolutely not. Even just say 5 or 10 minutes of focused effort each day makes a real difference, little and often.
Okay, so here's a practical challenge for everyone listening. For the next 10 minutes right after this, try it. Consciously think only in English.
Yeah, narrate what you're doing, describe what you see around you, notice how you're feeling. Just use English in your head.
Give it a go. See how it feels.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Consider how this practice, this shift towards thinking in English, how it starts to change your whole experience with the language.
How so?
Well, the more you think in English, the more you start to almost live in English in a small way. It becomes less of a foreign subject and more a part of your daily reality.
That's a great way to put it. More thinking leads to more living in the language. Love that. Thanks for diving deep with us today.